And welcome back to Ozarks Live. Football, like it's back in season. And luckily, we have two of the most recognizable faces and voices that you're ever going to hear in the Ozarks when it comes to sports. That, of course, is Art Haynes and Ned Reynolds with KC Blitz Show.
Yes.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Good to be here.
Glad y'all are here today.
Thank you.
What's going on lately, guys? Everybody keeps asking, what are you all up to?
Hey, it's Kansas City Chiefs football, and Mr. Haynes, who, of course, is on the Chiefs radio network, has seen all the games so far. And, you know, amazingly enough, he is optimistic about what's going on.
Really?
Well, and in all objectivity, there were a couple of years I've been doing this that they went 2-14. So this is a lot more fun.
Which sure is.
Yeah. And things obviously are a very high expectation, given the fact they got about as close to the Super Bowl last year as they could get without actually getting there.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody always says, great team, yeah, playoffs, boom. And then a different team shows up.
Well,
better things this year, you think?
Well, I mean, the only thing you can do better is get to the Super Bowl, because they did get to the game before the Super Bowl,
right.
And they were either a coin flip or offside away from winning that game against New England, and possibly would have won the big game. So that's the only step remaining, really.
Ned, you concur? What's your
During
read?
the course of the season, however, and it will be a successful season since last year, they just ran right through they blitzed everybody, and that's why the show's called KC Blitz.
There you go.
We are on, Art and I are on, and we have we'll tell you about the third party in a second. We are on Saturday evenings at 8:30. The games are the next day. So it's a review from the past week and a preview of the coming game, and Art and I offer our quote-unquote expertise. But we do have a newcomer on the show this year we had a rehearsal this morning, and he adds a tremendous amount to the show.
Tell us about the newcomer then.
Well, that's Larry Nimmers, who for 17 years was an NFL referee and lives here in town. And then after he retired from the on-field duties, was a replay booth official for, what, 10 more years?
He was replay from 2011 until this past February.
Yeah, so good long tenure in the NFL.
Yeah.
And every week there are always rules, interpretations that come up, and how was this called?
Lately it seems like it,
And, I mean, they had a rather radical rule change during the offseason based on a non-call that was made in a playoff game last year, not involving the Chiefs. But so Larry is in a perfect position, and he's so articulate to explain these rules, interpretations that come up each week.
Yeah, I mean, it really gives you a different viewpoint, an on-field perspective, so to speak.
It does, Tom, because the game, in simplistic form, the game itself is really rudimentary. You go from one goal line to the other.
Right.
But there's so many rules and regulations, and especially in the NFL. There are in college and high school as well, but the NFL is particularly complicated. And Larry, who is a retired school principal, does just a magnificent job of explaining this, and we couldn't ask for anything better.
This sounds like a great trio. Absolutely.
Well, and he can explain why certain things are called the way they are. I mean, people say you could call holding on every play, yes, but you only are supposed to call it if it affects the play. If it's at the point of attack. Same with pass interference. He was explaining about an advantage being gained by one or the other, and if not, then you keep the flag in your pocket.
Yeah, but some of these new things are coming out with everybody is going to be driven crazy at one time or another.
Yeah.
And the games, Tom, and this is a negative aspect of it, with the new replay and challenge of interference calls, the games are going to be just a little bit longer, too. Already they're over 3 hours. But there really isn't much you can do that and keep things correct, or at least correct in the subjective fashion that they are.
Yeah. Well, they're going to help you keep things correct anyway.
We'll try.
Gentlemen, thanks for being here. 8:30 on Saturday.
8:30 Saturday evenings, right?
All right. Got to watch a
Perfect.
KC Blitz.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Well, coming up, Joy got to take a trip down to Branson to see some acrobats on ice. No, really.
Stick around. It's going to be good.